Hi, I'm Julie Wilcox. Welcome to the Julie Wilcox method. Today we're going to look at the dolphin pose, the forearm stand, as well as scorpion pose. All different variations of it from the beginner level to the advanced level. So please come with me onto your mats. We'll begin with dolphin pose. So take your forearms, you want to line your wrists up with your elbows and place your forearms in your hands as well as your elbows all down on the ground. Again, you can see the line from my middle finger through my wrist to my elbow. Okay, then squeeze your elbows in towards one another, spread your fingers wide, and press into your fingertips. Curl your toes under, and then elevate your seat coming into dolphin pose. So you can see that I'm hinging my shoulders back towards my legs. So this is opening up my entire shoulder girdle as well as my upper back, preparing me for the forearm stand. Breathe. It's also opening up my glutes, my hamstrings, the backs of my knees, my calves, and my Achilles. And you can clearly see how strengthening it is for the entire arms and the shoulder girdles. Okay, so for those of you guys that have mastered the dolphin pose and really feel that your body is very well conditioned, that your practice is at a level where you can begin the practice of the forearm stand, come with me to the wall and we'll practice against the walls. That's where you're practicing right now. So for the practitioner that is ready to move from dolphin to the forearm stand against the wall, come with me onto your mats, placing the mat up against the wall so the short edge of the mat meets where the floor and the wall join. Okay? Take your fingertips just about half an inch away from the wall and then lower to your forearms just like dolphin. Elbows line up with wrists, fingers spread wide, and squeeze your elbows towards one another. Then, curl your toes under, lift up through your core as you walk your feet in. Okay, so here now the shoulders are going to come over your elbows as opposed to hinge back. Okay, you want to take a small lunge, a baby lunge, so take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and then kick up against the wall. You can take both feet to the wall if you want, okay, but you can see how this is a little bit too much of a back bend, so I prefer to actually just kick 1 foot up to the wall, which is where we need to be anyway to get into the balance. And then when you're ready to start playing with the balance, bring your feet together in the center. To come down, just take that 1 foot against the wall again, and gently, slowly lower, and rest in child's pose. Okay, and if you've been practicing up for a while, you can come with me back to the center of the mat, and we'll do the forearm balance in the center of the room, and then move into scorpion pose. So take your mats back to where they were. Okay, so now that you have mastered the forearm stand against the wall, join me in the center of the room and we'll do the exact same thing here. So come onto your forearms as we have been doing all along, nothing changes. So we come through a variation of dolphin pose, but again, shoulders come directly over the wrists instead of hinging back. And then you really want to lift through the base of your core. Find a point for your gaze to fall upon between your forearms. Bend your knee that you're kicking with. And there you go, you want to rest in a forward bend after an inversion, so child's pose is very easy to get to from the forearm stand. So people often ask me what the breath is doing when I kick. And the answer is I'm in a Kimbaka, which means a breath retention phase. So I breathe in and then I breathe out. I hold my breath, and during that holding of the breath is when I kick up. And then when I'm up, I start breathing again. So when you're in an inversion, it's incredible for breath control. You have to breathe very evenly and smoothly so as not to knock yourself over. Okay, it takes incredible focus in order to do so. Right? So there's not much else that you can be thinking about. That's why inversions are considered the most advanced postures of a yoga practice, because you really have to already be in a state of dharana concentration and dhyana, one-pointed focus, in order to really be able to hold postures without any kind of wobbling. The second you get distracted, the second your mind starts fluctuating and going here and there, it's going to be very challenging to hold the pose. Okay, so for the few of you that are moving on to Scorpion, let's go into this. I'll do it and then I'll walk you through it. So what happened there is I came right into the forearm stand, as you saw. Then I started to bend my knees in isolation. I just let my knees completely relax and go into deep flexion. I began to scoop my chest forward and up, so that's an upper back bend in the thoracic spine, a deep opening of the chest and the shoulders. Once I then felt the counterbalancing of my chest with my legs over my head, I was able to then start to bring my toes towards my head. So the chest needs to move far enough forward so that it counterbalances the weight of the legs coming up and over onto your head. So again, then it's very important that you're able to really totally relax your knees, relax your hamstrings, and then let the toes and the back soften so they can come to rest on your head. I hope you enjoyed this practice today, and I'll see you soon.